Hey guys, so I am getting Cecily down for a nap and then I'll be heading to my gastroenterologist appointment. It's a big word. Call him the GI doc. Anyway, if you didn't see my last video, I'll put it up there. And I talked about what's been going on with me with the celiac disease, and I got diagnosed with the rash, dermatitis herpetiformis, which is the celiac rash, and that usually means that you have celiac disease. I have a lot of the symptoms, so I'm going to see a gastroenterologist to see what he thinks our next steps are, if there is any. If he can't do any other testing to confirm the diagnosis, then Cecily's talking over there. Then at least he could order some blood work to see nutritional deficiencies and that kind of stuff. So we will see what happens. Hopefully he's nice and he listens to me and listens to all what's been going on with me and takes me seriously. And hopefully he's had experience with celiac disease before, because hopefully he's not like that nurse practitioner. He's like, what? That's an allergy. No. Anyway, like seriously, Dr. Google knows more than you about that. Anyway, but I will see you guys in a bit. Bye. Okay, I'm in the doctor's office, waiting for them to come in. So this is the office. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, I don't know. They know I'm referred, but the nurse had no idea what my rash was called. It's funny, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we can have a good talk and kind of make a game plan from here. So. No, still waiting. Okay, hi, I'll update you on what happened while I drive, because I gotta get home, because apparently the baby woke up and is mad that I'm not there. So, he came in, and at first he was kind of like, hold on, let me turn this off so you can hear me. He was like, well, I just wanted to give you my card and tell you that I'm a gastroenterologist and I take care of patients that have stomach and bowel and esophagus or something issues. And you were referred here for a skin condition, and since I'm not a skin doctor, that's all I need to tell you. And I'm like, actually, my skin condition, I was told, is correlated to celiac disease, and I have been having symptoms. He's like, oh, and then he got interested, right? So I was like, okay. So, I mean, he was just basically, they made me wait for 40 minutes, and he was just going to tell me that, and then I was going to leave. It was basically what he thought. Anyway, so, he just, asked me about my symptoms, so I told him, and, all the different things that I'd been going through, and, how it all happened, and how I got the rash diagnosed, and blah, blah, blah. And, he, did an exam, like, just, felt my stomach, and, looked me over, basically. And then he said, and then he kept leaving, because he kept having these coughing fits, and, like, intense coughing fits, where he, like, had to gasp for air. And, so he'd be like, excuse me for a minute, and then he'd leave, and he'd be gone for 5 minutes, and then he'd come back and finish the conversation where he left off. And I'm just like, thanks a heap for the flu, doc. And, anyway, so then he like left again and came back in and was like, so here's the deal. He told me like this big like run through, like he was reading a script about how like people will be gluten intolerant or have celiac disease, and some of the people have no symptoms, and some people have seemingly unrelated symptoms and no gastrointestinal symptoms at all, and whatever. And then they go on a gluten-free diet, and all of a sudden they feel so much better, and they have energy they never thought they'd have, and their hairstylist or manicurist is suddenly telling them how gorgeous their hair and nail looks. Anyway, so that's what he told me. And then he said, he's like, your symptoms, seem like we should do the testing for this, and since you've never had the blood work done, let's go ahead and order that. But she didn't seem concerned that I've basically taken all the gluten out of my diet, well, except for like a couple mistakes here and there, where I didn't know stuff contained gluten yet, because I wasn't that educated on it yet. Anyway, those few exposures that I've had on accident because I'm stupid, but he didn't seem like that was a big deal. But he did, and then he kept pushing this upper GI endoscopy test, and you know, he was like, I think that we need to do it next week as soon as possible. He's like, you need to have blood work done today for all vitamins and minerals, calcium, folic acid, vitamin D, vitamin B12. They did, and then all the celiac labs. So they did that today. I went right afterwards, straight to the lab and had that done. It was like 7 tubes. It's crazy. But the lady was actually really good, and she was able to, you know, do it in one shot. Usually, I have to be stuck like 8 times before they can get my veins because they're just me and they just don't want to give it up, you know. So anyway, and then he was like, and we have to do the endoscopy like next week. And he's like, here's where it's complicated. You're breastfeeding, and you know, that seems important to you, but most of the medicines you have to pump and dump for 24 hours after the procedure. Holy crap, I can't do that. And he said, well, there's this one that we can do that is 12 hours after the procedure. And I'm like, crap. So I was like, there's no other medicines. Like, I can't look into this and figure this out and, you know, come up with something. And he said, no, there's no other medicine that I can be sedated enough for this procedure that is, you know, I can breastfeed right away or whatever. And I have to, like, not eat from midnight on or from dinner on afterwards, and no fluids for 8 hours before the procedure. So that's going to be tough. And, like, you have to do it next week. I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I like, started, like, I got all emotional when the lady was telling me about how I need to, like, pump and dump. So I'm like, really? I have to waste all that milk, and I have to stay away from my baby, and I don't know. It's just going to be really hard. So basically, I have to go in early in the morning, be sedated by this crazy stuff that, like, you know, the stuff that Michael Jackson, like, overdosed on, that crazy sedating, you're going to say funny things while you're on it medicine, yeah. So, and then I have to pump for 12 hours and not be around my baby because I can't be around her, she's going to freak out. So I don't know how we're going to make this work. I mean, I don't think my husband can get off work in that short notice, but if I have my parents watching the kids, then who's going to take me there? Because I need someone to take me there because I can't drive. And they were like, afterwards, you can't operate heavy machinery or drive or use a credit card or sign legal documents or operate an oven or a microwave without help. A microwave? Really? I wonder what someone did with the microwave that they have to say that. Anyway, that was interesting. So, anyway, I have to have this procedure next week, and he basically does think that, you know, obviously there's something going on, and he's like, this is the best way to confirm, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I don't know. I mean, I had the diagnosis of the rash, and I have all the symptoms, and I know I feel better when I don't eat gluten. So do I really need the endoscopy? I don't know. I mean, I have heard that, you know, there's other things that they're looking for when they do it, and they want to, you know, make sure that there's no, like, polyps or tumors or, you know, cancerous-looking stuff. I mean, I guess it'd be best to do it, but I'm just scared. He was talking about how there's, like, risks of stuff happening, like complications, where, like, you just bleed out from, oh yeah, because they have to do biopsies, I forgot to mention that. While they're in there, they put a tube basically down your throat, down into your stomach, and then all the way to your small intestine, and they're going to take biopsies of part of my intestine to try to confirm the diagnosis, and so that can bleed out, which I thought was kind of scary. And if I don't know. And then he was saying, you know, but there's the other thing. There's a risk that we do this and it shows us nothing, and it was all for nothing. Well, I mean, not all for nothing. He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Was really, so I have to put my baby through from not being able to breastfeed when she wants to. Which, I mean, I know it's not that long, but it still makes me sad. If you're a breastfeeding mom, you know how hard that can be. and then, you know, pump this breast milk and do all that. That's a lot of work. And then it could just show us nothing. Really? I don't know. So if you have celiac disease, or you've had an endoscopy or upper GI, whatever, tell me your experience, and if you thought it was worth it to do that and why. Yeah. So, I mean, there's lots of reasons either way, and he was saying how if this one doesn't come up, like, it comes up inconclusive, then he might have me eat a whole bunch of gluten every single day in order to get a positive result. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'll be like bedridden. I'll be so sick after 2 days that I won't be able to get out of bed, and in so much pain I'll probably have to go to the ER. And there's no way I can do that. There's no way. So that's not an option for me at all. So I don't know. But yeah, so I went and got the blood work done, and we'll see. I get results of that probably like the beginning of next week, the end of this week, because it's Wednesday now. And we will see what those say. Now, if the celiac disease test, the blood work comes back negative, I won't be surprised, because I haven't been regularly eating gluten, and I would assume that you would need to be for it to be correct. And you didn't do like the DNA test. I don't know. I think I just left there more confused than I went in, and worried about this procedure. And I don't know, I guess I should just toughen up and do it, but yeah. Anyway, so that's how that went. And yeah, I guess I'm just kind of like sad that I even have to deal with all this crap. And yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna make my decision and talk with Chris about this endoscopy thing, and look up, maybe try to look more into the whole breastfeeding endoscopy issue, and see if there's some way to figure this out without doing 12 hours. Maybe there's a, you know, one that kind of leaves your system earlier. Maybe the whole pumping and dumping thing isn't even necessary. Maybe it leaves your body sooner. I'm not sure, but I'll look into it and figure it out. So anyway, I just wanted to update on what happened at my gastroenterologist GI doc appointment, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.